So this is chat with me time. When I step out to have a drink and just giving you guys an idea of what it's like. It's okay to get out solo and enjoy yourself. There's so many places here that you can stop and have a drink or a meal during the afternoon. It's about 1:30 on a Friday. And I usually use this time to kind of work, usually from the apartment. But the option to be able to go to different, cafes all around you within walking distance, it's about, this beach is about, maybe about a 20-minute walk from my apartment. But there's another beach that's near me. That's a 5-minute walk. And that's the beach I usually go to. This one is nice too. But this one is more in the center of everything. I'll turn it around and show you. So, yeah. And usually it's okay to have wine. Of course, with water. And as you can see, the wind is blowing. Very good weather. I love it. I've been to many beaches during this time in Europe, and this is probably one of my favorite because they have so many different ones, but more in Albania and Vlora, this weather is almost perfect because it gets windy and it gets a little cold at night, but not too cold where you don't really need a jacket still. And the sun is bright, but not too bright. You can see the clouds are out. It'll probably rain tomorrow, but I love it. Okay, so I am home now. This is a continuation from being out in such a beautiful day today here in Vlora. And I know some people they may run across this channel and wonder what I'm all about and why I'm all over the place in different countries. I am a traveler, that I am, but I am also a person who is looking for my permanent home in Europe. I'm American. Most people know that, who've already, know this channel or just know me in general. But I had, about 5 years ago, I made my permanent decision to stay abroad. And when I say permanent decision, it's because I had been traveling. I left originally in 2015, California, and I started my exploration into Europe. And it was actually my first time abroad 10 years ago. And it just shocked me on just the difference, the cultures, how easy it was to travel. And I did it alone. I was solo. So, I'm not going to go back into the story because I do have some videos that talk about, how I started traveling. But now I work online and, what they call the digital nomad. But I'm just not floating around. I'm actually, experiencing, I call it slow travel. So I'm experiencing other countries to see which one is a better fit for me. And now it's more important than ever because of what's happening in the United States. And, it's not a place that I feel comfortable in anymore. It's actually, I don't even feel like it's my home, my living home. Of course, my families are still there and friends, but it's not. Yes, my family is still still there in the United States. And so I'll be going home, of course, to California and to do my visits, but probably not so often. Because as I said, the political climate is just not something that is very safe right now, or I don't feel really, comfortable. And also I don't feel connected to the culture anymore. I've gotten so used to so many things that is a better quality life here abroad, specifically Europe for me. And now that I'm on the subject of Europe, since I was going to talk about other things, but let me just get something clear. I have not gone to any of the Asian countries yet to live or longer term. So I know there's a lot of Americans who ask me questions about, what about Thailand? What about, Japan? I have not lived in those countries, or even been there long term. So I can't give you an opinion, but what I can say is that, why Europe for me, and why I think it should be an option for many who are maybe thinking about going to Bangkok. I know that's like, Thailand, and, some of the Asian countries like, Vietnam, which are great as well. But also, don't be fearful of Europe, because I know the other countries are considered more affordable, also the good food and a lot of good quality life too. But there's European countries like this one, Albania, that are just as affordable. They're great. The culture is amazing. That's why I chose Europe for me, because I love, excuse the camera. I love European culture and history. So that was why I chose coming to Europe first. But with that first, because as I said, that's something that I've always been interested in, is in the history of Europe. All of that architecture, as I said, paintings, art, food, that was just for me. But, as a solo traveler, of course, there was the fear that was there for me too, but I did it. I'm going to do another video on how I was able to continue to travel, even though I was fearful, and the obstacles I went through. So I will have a video about, because nothing's perfect. There are going to be some things that you experience, some things that are not going to be comfortable. But it's all about kind of, challenging yourself and just, kind of going forward if it's something that you want, which was for me. It was what I wanted to change in life. And, I knew I wanted to live abroad. So I'm not all over the place, but this kind of conversation is kind of like a little chit chat after seeing what a little bit, my life is like on a daily basis. I'm go back to, I'm here in Albania because I had been told for many of the other travelers about this country and how safe it is, and how a lot of people are discovering Albania. It's growing, their infrastructure, a lot of things. And me being a beach girl, of course, I have to try the beaches first. And so that's where I am. I'm here in Vlora. It's similar to where I was in Georgia in a way, where the beaches are, except this is a sandy beach and they have many beautiful ones. But Georgia, I felt very comfortable because it was small, not too big. The country, of course, Georgia, Batumi in Georgia was a beach I always. Okay, like I was saying, I was cut off for a minute. I liked Batumi, Georgia. Georgia is a really good place also, and it is on the coast. It was a beach, coastal city, so those type of places I like. But let me give you some information that I have since learned while living here in Albania. I've only been here like now about 3 weeks, and I like to, before I start recording or talking about my experiences, I like to kind of experience the city first. And Albania is one of these cities where, or countries, I'm sorry, where, it's a slow pace, obviously. You can tell probably some from my videos, especially if you're on the coast, but this is during high season, during when a lot of people are on holiday. And it's still not so crowded yet. But I like the fact that, one thing you have to do, because it is kind of still old school. So most things are cash. And that's a lot of some of these countries in Europe that are not Western. They tend to still prefer cash when it comes to the small markets and stores and things like that. But if you have your malls and your bigger stores, bigger grocery stores, they take credit cards, and they, all kinds. Your tap, you can use your phone, Apple Pay, all that stuff. Very, just like any other place. So, that's okay here with the bigger stores. But other countries I've been in, Western European countries that are bigger or whatnot, of course, they are more comfortable with using cards than cash. Like living in Prague, I found I never had cash on me because I used my card for everything. Same thing with Poland and Vienna, places like that. I never used cash. So cash is key here in Albania. So with cash being most important to have here, that's probably one of my cons. But I don't have many cons. because so far I like it here. It's a lot of makes it a little more easier too, knowing that these are for people who are thinking about somewhere long term while they're doing like I'm doing. I'm kind of slow traveling, but I've been doing it for a while, so probably people will want to choose one or two countries that they like. I've been all over because I also travel. But I'm on my experiences or what I talk about is going to be in regards to which countries I'm choosing. And so this was on my list of places because as an American, you can stay 1 year on your tourist visa. It's a couple other countries like that makes it easier for you not have to do the Schengen thing, 90 days in and 90 days out of the Schengen zone. This is not a part of the Schengen zone, so you can do that here. You can stay longer, a year. I think there's also Serbia, in different places like that. I'll try to put them on the screen, the ones that you can stay a little longer. That's in case some people they don't like to jump around like I do. They may want to stay longer in one country and try different cities. So I encourage that as well. The one good thing about living abroad is that you don't need much. A lot. That's one thing I do love about a lot of these European countries. You don't need to bring furniture and all these extra things. Most apartments in these countries are furnished already. So with even down to the pots and pans. So I would say think about not having excess stuff with you. So it makes it easier.